Hello Libra, and welcome to your December 2023 forecast. This is going to give you all of the information you need to travel through the end of this year, and you can always use this for Sun, Rising, Moon, and Venus. It's great to see everybody. We're going to get started with channeled messages. The first of the two major channeled messages has to do with connections and expansion. The metaphor that Spirit used in my dreams was that of a house. And basically, each time I opened a door, I was able to see a new hallway or a new wing or a new bedroom or a new space that I hadn't before. And in the period of that dreaming space, I never saw an end to it. It just was a matter of which doors I wanted to open. And I thought that was a beautiful metaphor for life, and especially when we're looking at business and opportunities. Spirit's there on the other side, and it's holding space for you. You may need to, occupy the space and put things in it, but the rooms were there, the opportunities were opening. And if you continue to be open to doing the work, to basically unlock that potential, then this could be a really great month for expansion. I put in the second to last bullet, I think, a really important thing when it comes to expectations. Sometimes we are taught to, basically pull things in a little bit, dim our light, don't reach so far, don't speak so loud, don't expect so much, lower your expectations. You know what? That's not right. Especially when it comes to manifestation. I'm here to tell you that Spirit wanted you to do the opposite. Raise your expectations of what's possible. In fact, when manifesting, allow for Spirit to give you an upgrade beyond your wildest expectations. And this has been a common theme as I've been looking at different signs this month, especially you though, Libra. It was the primary thing. So some of you may be feeling this sort of sense of being blocked, and you may be tuning in today thinking, Nicholas, I might have writer's block, or I've been looking for a partner and I'm not finding it. I've been looking for a house. I've been looking for a job. This is also saying go beyond what you thought it would look like. You might have to think outside of the box. You might have to go through a different door or open a different window to find what you're looking for. And Spirit may actually be presenting something a little bit differently, but possibly even better than the expectation. So I'm here to say you're not blocked. There are options. Part of the lock internally is feeling blocked or locked, and possibly even expecting something to only show up in a certain way, shape, form, or time. I was listening to an interview with Alanis on, I think she was talking on the Kelly Clarkson show, and I liked what she had to say about writer's block. She was talking about some of her songs that came through in like 8 minutes. And I think one, Hand in My Pocket, I think is what the proper title is, but it was around 8 minutes that she wrote that song, and it was like one of her biggest hits. But initially things weren't coming, and so she took a break, came back, and just kind of wrote things down. And she said she didn't believe in writer's block. She said, just go have a sandwich, take a walk. It may not be the right time now, but like 10 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour from now. So do the same thing in your life. If you're not feeling one of the doors is opening, I saw like a dozen other ones that would. So use your key and unlock wherever your energy will go. And you can try that door later. It may open later. So stay open to trying things in a different time. Be open to seeing things in a different shape or form. And in doing so, you can explore this house of opportunity that Spirit was showing me. I featured the world here because, two things that are coming to me right now. First of all, this is a month of either going up or out when it comes to an opportunity. So you should be seeing it go to the next level, or you're moving on to something else. This is also the end of the year. And this card represents the ability to now break through and try something completely different next year. You don't have to keep doing the same thing. It feels like some of you may simply want change, and change is good. Change is integral to growth and to living. What I saw in the second dream and vision before I woke up this morning was what was normally a creek. I could see that there was a sort of a general channel that was being carved out by the water, but there was this influx of energy, and it had become more of a river. And I think of like the flooding metaphor of the Nile back in ancient times. While it was destructive on some levels, it also brought with it all this rich material that made that a very fertile zone. And in fact, when they put the dam on it, it's not the same, right? Because you need the floods, you need these sort of ebbs and flows of energy. So as a continuation of what we were just talking about, some of you may be more in that sort of creek or gentle flowing energy, but what's coming is a big influx, and it could be energy, it could be love, it could be resources. One of the things that you want to allow yourself to do is to ride that wave of energy, because it's a creative and it could also be a reconstructive or destructive force. So there are certain things that want to exit your life. There are certain things that are rushing to come in. Let's take a look at some of the bullets that I put here. I said, it's fast moving. So some of you might need to think on your feet, which means that staying grounded is going to be really, really important. And with emotional floodgates opening, this is why I featured the 9 of Cups. This is a time where you want to make room for gratitude. In that same interview that I was listening with Alanis, she was talking about the importance of not kind of just going through the work and rest cycle, but really taking time to reflect, to integrate, to have gratitude. Because sometimes we are trained to just like go to sleep, work, go to sleep, work. And we never take a break in between to just rest and figure out, what have I learned? Where am I at? What am I doing? That the soul searching piece is so important. So take time to get in touch with your feelings. Take time to slow down. You might be overdue for a vacation. Connect with the 9 of Cups in the upright position, which is gratitude, and express that gratitude to people around you, and express it to yourself for being able to get as far as you did, and for making time for yourself today. That's why we're here, folks. And to that end, I'm really grateful to have you here. Let's go ahead now and look at your Celtic Cross and see what messages are coming through for the month ahead. All right, as I mentioned a few moments ago, you can use this for sun, rising, and moon, and we'll be taking a closer look at all 3 of those later in this reading, so I hope you stick around. I'm going to remain quiet while I pull the cards here, but so far so good. Okay, we have 2 sticking together for this one, so we're just going to allow these to come through. Wow, some twinning energy coming through. I know I said I was going to be quiet, but I noticed the 2 of Cups, the Page of Cups, partnership, and connections. By the way, that was one thing that we'll go back to it after I pull the cards. I neglected to talk about connections because I did see a connection in that space. So thank you, Spirit, for reminding me. The end. So far, some pretty magical cards, to the point that I can't help but talking while I'm pulling them. Okay, let's take a quick look. As I said, we'll go to the catalyst in just a moment. Because there was so much twinning energy, I wanted to revisit something that I was talking about here. So 3rd bullet down, I saw a new partnership and assistance entering into this house of opportunity. This could be a business connection. This could be love interest. For some of you, a love interest. It could also just be expansion of your existing network. And what brought this back to my attention was the fact that 2 cards were sticking together here in the catalyst. The catalyst, as you can see here, is helping you connect to the necessary change in your life. And we're going to start with the first set of twins here, Metatron and Sandalphon, archangels, basically, that are helping you with synchronicity, divine connection, and understanding lessons. Could be a teacher for some of you, but a really kind cosmic sort of teacher. So if you're looking for mentorship, for leadership, for a guru, for something of that nature, this archangelic energy is coming through to represent that. Metatron is something that also helps you really think through complex things. This is a great energy for you. So I really feel for those of you looking for the appropriate mentor, teacher, or business connection, this card is coming through saying, again, the universe has your back. Sacred connection. It should feel really good from the get-go. Then the second card that had twinning energy was Lakshmi and Ganesh. So Lakshmi is connected with prosperity and wealth, and Ganesh is helping you overcome challenges in your finances. And it's really, I mean, these are so beautifully connected to the cards here because when I was pulling this, I even thought some of you are worried about money. And the Five of Pentacles is interesting because you remember in my dream, I said you have the key, you just have to open the door. Try it later if it didn't work once. So like this is second chances for some of you out there, Libra. You have a chance to really unlock potential and make something work that didn't because you've changed. So if it didn't work, 5 minutes ago, 5 years ago, 5 decades ago, now you're different. Something has shifted. It may just be the third eye. It may be your heart. Maybe the synchronicity on the other side is shifting to meet you. So let's read the rest of this. It says a prosperity vibration. You want to use the mantra that I often mention here across all my videos. I can, I will, and I am, and then fill in the blank, whatever it is that you are attempting to do. You're attracting health, wealth, and happiness. If you've had a tricky year dealing with any of those things, struggling through a health issue, looking at your finances and thinking, I need or I want or I'm ready for more. And just generally thinking, I'm done with this feeling of grief or sadness or whatever. I want to elevate. These cards came through and refused to separate, and they really want to help you achieve the sacred connection, which could be love or partnership, and this prosperity vibration. This is a very special reading, Libra. So far, I'm really excited about the potentials that are opening up for you. And it's plural on purpose. There's more than one potential opportunity that's knocking here. All right, let's dig into the Celtic Cross and see specifically the messages one by one here, starting with this beautiful central card, the Star. Couldn't ask for a better place to begin the reading. And this is about amping up your light, your volume, all the stuff that I talked about in the beginning where I said sometimes we have this tendency to cap or limit or somehow mute potential. So I want you to just be really, really open to receiving and also be as unabridged, unfiltered, and honest and authentic as possible. For those of you that are artists, performers, or in a public sort of view, this could also include someone that's leading a company or someone in politics, whatever. What we see here is a great spotlight and a great moment to make a change or a difference. It's all basically what you do with this window of opportunity. Stay connected to source, stay authentic, and do what you feel is right. People are listening, people are paying attention. And we can see that here in the spread with the center card, the Four of Wands. This is what we were talking about, the sacred connection or this prosperity vibration and the partnerships that are intrinsic on both cards there, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Metatron, Sandalphon. So this moment in time, if you felt alone and you're ready for assistance, one thing that you might need to or think about doing is simply reaching out and saying, hey, I've been thinking of working with you, or hey, are you interested in this? Or just simply beginning a conversation, because we see here someone who's more than happy to entertain that moment and that conversation with you as well. Four of Wands basically symbolizes something that has a firm foundation, and it's someone who has your back. It can be a long-term partnership. It can be love. It can be marriage. Generally speaking, this is exactly the kind of person in your life that you want to call in. So if you've been waiting, like I said earlier, and nothing's been happening, this is a really good month and period of time to put yourself out in more activities and more places where you can connect. This isn't just about dating. This is about making connections across the board. That house wasn't limited to just one hallway. So each one of those rooms could represent a different room in your house, kind of like the astrology houses, right? So we have love, we have wealth, we have career, we have, learning about yourself. All of these different rooms want to open up. So don't limit yourself. And there are people that are looking and seeking out that same sort of rich depth of friendship, knowledge, and introspection. So anyway, Four of Wands here. This could be a soulmate coming through. This could be the exact connection that you need to expand in something. very, very auspicious. Partnership is definitely playing a role in your expansion and in your ability to thrive this month. Let's look at your karma and your deep past. So kudos to many of you out there who have just basically pushed through some of the most challenging or trying times. The Nine of Wands is one of the cards of fierce perseverance. Basically, when anyone else facing a similar sort of challenge would have buckled under the pressure, you've pushed through. If we take a moment and look at the traditional illustration, you can see the bandage on the forehead of this person that represents some of the trials, tribulations, and maybe even some of the sort of internal stuff that you've had to deal with. And you've done a good job, but this is a call for self-care. So if you feel a little burned out, if there are some emotional scars that you're dealing with, take a moment, rest, recalibrate. We talked about that in the channeled message. The other thing here is to pay attention to this just as a general health note, which we'll look at later, but sometimes there can be difficulty in concentrating. There can be stress headaches, TMJ, other things that could be coming through. So of course, if any of this is going on, standard disclaimer applies here. Work with your doctor and professional, but energetic blockages and irritations can often lead to some of those health things. So that's what I'm picking up on. Very close to completion of a task or goal. So continue working hard and lean on others. This next leg of the journey is not one that you have to shoulder all alone. Even though the Ten of Wands would normally show that, this is the alternative to that. Let's look at recent past, and we already talked about this with Lakshmi. So Five of Pentacles can indicate something from the past. Oftentimes, it's a person who kind of like chips away at our self-confidence. It can be unknowingly a teacher who in a moment, frustration or lack of support says something hurtful. Parent who wasn't there the way they needed to be there. A friend or a classmate who's not a friend, who's just trying to pick on you. And these things get into our headspace a little bit. I'm here to remind you, that's the past, this is the present. You have a key to get past this, but it requires sometimes asking for help, sometimes walking away from someone or something that continues to, like it's a codependency, right? So you're going to walk away from the codependency and say, I need or I want more. I deserve more. Don't accept less than what you're worth. That's the ultimate thing here with the Five of Pentacles. It's reversed, meaning that cycle is ending. Lakshmi is coming in, kind of like the Wheel of Fortune, saying, we're going to turn things around. Are you ready? And Ganesh is coming through, and Ganesha is great at helping you see beyond a block. I would kind of connect Ganesha to like the Queen of Wands or King of Wands, where they're inventive, intuitive, and imaginative. So lean into that energy right now, and the sky's the limit. Speaking of the sky, let's look at what's going on in the crowning position here. Many of you are walking away from no-win arguments. This could be with family. It's interesting that this comes up when many of you might be going to family gatherings over the next 2 months here. There are some things that you're never going to be able to do to please a parent or an aunt or a sibling, because you know what? You're living your own life. And this is maybe them getting in your ear saying, well, when are you going to get married? Or when are you going to, save more money? Or when are you going to buy a house? Or when are you going to do this? All these things that are important to them, but you have other goals, you have other things, and they may not be acknowledging all the other work that you've been doing. So tune it out. That's basically what this card is saying. And there's another path. There's also someone else that might be trying to get your attention that's more worthy of the conversation. So pick and choose your battles. Well, elevate the conversation. Don't take the bait. If I could give you one piece of advice, it's not worth your time and energy to engage with Five of Swords. It just ends up being, the same old, and it gets tiring. So walk out of the room, take a deep breath, and focus on something else. Four of Cups in reverse. This is also seeing beyond the blocks. The universe wants to offer kind of like this gold at the end of the rainbow here, a new opportunity. But right where my fingers are, some of you might be focusing on, I wish I would have done that. If only I had done this. Why isn't this happening? Why does or maybe some of those words that, family or friends said, you start to think, well, maybe they're right. So take a step back and recalibrate, and remember to look at the opportunities that Spirit's offering in multiple directions, and know that you're only as limited as your thoughts here, And people only have power if you give it to them. So if you're ready to reclaim it and ready to reset things, this is the perfect time to do so. All right, let's take a look at how you're showing up this month. In one word, busy. The Eight of Wands represents that flow of energy that came through really loud and clear in channeled messages. And there is an immediacy to it, kind of like striking when the iron is hot. It's a chance for you to make the most of the moment, to go with that energetic flow, and also to remind yourself that these moments, these ebbs and flows, they don't last forever. So when things really turn up in intensity, just try to take a deep breath, keep, again, your grounding and your focus, and know that there'll be an equally balanced sort of low period in the future. The other thing here is that there are a lot of different people around you, again, that you can connect with. Each one of these wands represents someone that's interested or connected to the success of whatever it is that you're working on. So if you feel like you need help, or if you feel like you're lost in the shuffle, this is a good time to communicate and connect to that community that is around you, but everybody may be in their own world. And this is another thing that I'm picking up on, particularly for those of you that are in a busy workplace or busy family, or just a busy sort of extracurricular activity if you're retired or a student. There seems to be everyone is just focusing on their own thing. And I think there could be a better sort of collective, this is a leadership opportunity, but a collective goal or focus. So fast moving, lots of opportunities, lots of people that are interested in making things happen or work, but I'm missing the connection here a little bit. So slow down and make sure that all of these dots are connecting. And if you do that, ultimately, Eight of Wands is exactly what I would want to see when it comes to business or school or opportunities. The wheels are in motion, action is happening, it's headed in the right direction. And we see that you already have the hard work, the work ethic, the visionary capabilities to bring this to completion. So don't give up. Your hard work is going to be rewarded for sure in this moment in time. I love what we see in your environment here. We have someone who's head over heels. So this can represent a person in your life that really sees your potential long before you do. Both of these cards are reversed, but if we look at them in the upright position, this is a card here where, again, you have the key to much more potential than you may imagine. Here's someone who sees all of the possibility, the pig flying, and it's basically saying, let's dream this, let's do this together. So again, business partnerships looking really, really great. There could be someone that's interested in hiring you or starting a business with you or doing something, again, to kind of help you get to the next level. It could be romance. There's someone who could be head over heels. The fact that this card is reversed could mean that this is someone who has a difficult time articulating it. So if there's someone that's shy but seems to be flirting, or if you're interested in someone and want to kind of go out on a limb and just see if there's a connection, this card says it's worth at least seeing if the connection is there mutually. Make sure that that mutual connection does exist, because you deserve nothing less than the best. And there's two things I want to talk about with this. The Five of Pentacles is a self-confidence card, so sometimes we accept less than we deserve. When it comes to availability and mutual interest, don't sort of like go down a path just because you think I'll settle, this is good enough. Also, if someone isn't available or can't give you what you need, don't accept that either. As we saw with your two powerful catalyst cards, you deserve nothing less than the best. Now, because this is in your environment, it can also represent a person who's going through a lot. And if you are naturally empathetic and connect to others, even without trying, this is about making sure that you're not giving so much that it's depleting you. So having proper boundaries, especially work and social boundaries, it's going to be so integral to your happiness, your health, and your general success. So be careful of people around you that are basically more apt to take than they are to give and may not have good boundaries themselves. All right, let's take a look at hopes, fears, and opportunities. I love the Two of Cups. I love that it came through here. It's so nicely connected to some of these other cards. So this is something where there's friendship, fidelity, and strong foundations. This is love and mutual interest. That's also why if we see someone here who doesn't have the mutual interest or mutual availability, it's not worth it, because something better is waiting. And because we had so much twinning energy, one of these could be Two of Cups, one of these could be Four of Wands. So like I said, you could have advancement and growth in both business and social, or in personal development and your love interests, whatever. There's so much opportunity and so much potential here. So Are you ready and willing to receive? Cups are like that. You have to kind of have them clear, clean, ready, and open. If you're open to all of the abundance the universe has to offer, this is the month for great connections to happen. So yes, if you're looking for love, it can come through. If you want to deepen or solidify an existing friendship or relationship, yes. And if you simply want to expand your circle of friends and colleagues, yes. There's nothing negative about this at all. And in fact, one thing that I would say is if you're not somehow using your sort of social skills this month, this is a month to sharpen them up a bit, okay? Moving on to the outcome, things are better than you think they are. So this is a blessing in disguise. This is a lessening of stress and the understanding that fear in and of itself is just a dampening energy. Anxiety doesn't really open up doors. It doesn't really prepare us. Sometimes it just exists. So finding a channel and a way to dispel that is key. We do see one bird here that has kind of made that breakthrough. And I think that many of you are on the precipice of dealing with stress better. Whenever Nine of Swords comes through, it can indicate fatigue, stress that's sort of seeping its way into a time when you would normally be taking care of yourself at nighttime. So make sure that you're getting ample rest. Make sure that the rest is of quality, not just quantity, but there has to be like sleeping through the night. And if you're not, this is something you need to talk to a doctor about, obviously, because there can be any number of things from mental to physical to environmental that can lead to that. But ultimately, this is just the universe coming through saying things are better than you think. And let's expand the forecast to see how that might play out in the realms of health, wealth, love, and destiny. We're going to get started with your health card, which is mind, body, and spirit. As we take a look at this card, it says the end. And I'd like to encourage you to realize that sometimes ends are beginnings. And we can see that as this person is looking through the portal. But notice how there's a hypnotic sort of energy to this particular illustration. Sometimes when you're faced with the completion of a goal or of a dream, there is this moment of thinking, this was it, or now what am I going to do? And also, is this the end of whatever the path is? Remember what we talked about at the beginning. This is a month for new connections, new doors, new windows, new partnerships as well. So the end is the beginning of something new. So there's a necessary thing that's coming to a close. And if I could give you one piece of advice, and it's touching all categories, not just health, but it's to look beyond the present goal. There's something more than what you thought, but it requires you to see yourself beyond a label, beyond a role, and to try on a different hat. So this is a chance for dreaming and for experimentation and for trying new things. So yes, something has come to a close, but if you're ready, if you're willing, something bigger is on the horizon. But dealing with grief for some of you, because this can also be the death card, right? So if you just lost a person in your life, if you just graduated or finished something major, there is a mourning process that needs to take place before the rebirth that we would normally see, like with the judgment card. So give yourself a moment to just integrate, to relax, to rest, to be, and then everything else will start to come into focus when the time is right. Let's take a look now at general health messages, again with a disclaimer that I'm looking at energy, but energy often affects the body and the well-being. So we already talked about sleep. Make sure that sleep quality and quantity is good. Take a look at your, in particular, the pillows that you're sleeping on and the bed. Make sure that everything is new, is clean, it fits your body right, because sometimes we have a mismatch or things are just past their prime when it comes to bedding. So make sure that that's where it needs to be. I talked about this before, but you could be experiencing pressure headaches. There could be TMJ. There could be something with concentration. So try to work on stress reduction. Work with a professional if you need to talk to someone and you're dealing with stress in general. Five of Pentacles, a couple of energies here. Healing wounds from the past. So that's one area, but the other place is your feet, ankles, lower extremities, the legs and all of that. So if you've had any existing injuries, if you're prone to accidents there, or if you're just walking and it's slippery outside, take care. The Five of Pentacles can show injuries around the foot area. Let's see what else we want to focus on. Everything else is actually pretty good here. There may be a better way to get something done, get second opinions with the Four of Cups. You might be missing something, so don't be afraid to reach out of your normal circle. because we see that networking is a very good thing to do this month. Let's move on to the energy of wealth, which is your resources, life purpose, and career. We have the earthworm coming through here, but the card was reversed. There is a single question from Spirit that comes through as I look at this. Are you willing to put the work in? Are you willing to go deep enough to basically make this happen? Because the earthworm goes beneath the surface. It's not a shallow symbol. And the reversal of this is encouraging you to dig a little deeper. So dig a little deeper into your heart, into your passion. Go beyond. If you feel like there's a block or a fear and anxiety, go to the source. And that's really what this is about. Find ways to get grounded again. This, of course, is a very fertile and abundant card. Wherever there are earthworms, typically the soil is rich and enriched by their presence. And so everything you touch this month, you have like a green thumb, the ability to create growth and movement. All that the universe is asking you is don't be afraid to dig deeper, to put your heart and soul into something, and know that this depth of character, star card, then attracts Four of Wands. Like energy attracts like energy, attracts even more like energy. So we see a lot of expansion, a lot of movement when you're willing to go the depth and take a leap of faith, which we kind of saw with this previous one. So let's take a look at some specific energies and areas around business. I want to start with just a general good note here, which is if there was a lack of support or if doors were once closed, they are now opened. And it's a matter of embracing it, accepting it, and believing it when it happens. So breakthrough. This is a breakthrough period for you, Libra. What are some of the blocks from the past? Some of you are just fatigued, and we see it here in the 2 9s, overworking and then maybe overstressing. Some of you are undercompensated and perhaps dealing with this sort of self-confidence issue from the past. Moving beyond this and seeing what others see in no uncertain terms. 4 of Wands, 2 of Cups, Page of Cups. Was a page? Yeah, page. All of these are really, really positive. You just have to be able to see what others can see. You have to see the skeleton key that we see right there. If you do that, then things are just going to unlock for you. Walk away from people that have limiting beliefs, that have argumentative tendencies, that only focus on the critical, that try to get a rise out of you. They are not worth the time and energy right now. You're busy. You're going to get a lot done. Take care of yourself, lean on others. Honestly, a lot of what we've said before is coming through in wealth, but the key to success this month is in accepting, embracing, and exploring partnership energy. So both your personal life and your business life, work-life balance. We have multiple energies here around that. It doesn't have to be an either or. We don't have to make a choice. So that's one other message from Spirit is you can have both things, a healthy personal life and a healthy business life. And also wealth includes all of those things. It's not just the money we make, it's the people that we spend our time with. It's the quality of our own health and well-being. So look at all the things in your life that constitute wealth. Walk away from the things that are not elevating things right now. And there's an opportunity that is under your nose or around you, very much within reach, but the focus on what isn't working for some of you is what's blocking you from seeing that opportunity that, again, is really, really close by. Be flexible. Last message from the earthworm. You're being asked to stretch and move and go into places that may feel alien or uncomfortable, but they may be exactly what you need in order to get to the next level. It's a really good month. I'm going to highlight 3 areas, but just really high level. If you're in a current job, it might be time for a negotiation for contract or money, because this is an underpaying or underappreciating card. And we see here that if you're not getting it where you're at, that there are opportunities elsewhere. And also a way to get what you need is also to lean on this positive support. There's a lot of good buzz around many of you. Use that to your advantage, and that can help you get what you're looking for. If you can't get that boss or business or place to appreciate you, go somewhere else, because this isn't worth the headache. And you have a lot to offer, okay? And you might be able to do this on your own, very entrepreneurial. For those that are students, it is really just about stress management right now. If you are starting or restarting your sort of career or business, don't feel like you have to do this alone. There is support. So that's a common thread that I'll keep saying. And if you are retired this month, I think it's all about friends and family. It's coming through everywhere across the board. It's a chance to heal wounds, whether you're a parent healing it with the child or vice versa, or even sibling energy. This is a chance to move beyond that and let go of the pain. Okay, really good stuff. And now let's take a look at those of you that are, speaking of relationships, we touched on it a little bit, but let's take a look at love. Simply put, it's all about truth, being yourself, being authentic, and really making sure that you can speak your heart and your mind to the person that you care about the most. There may be truth that's coming to the surface, something that in the past the other person wasn't ready to hear or you weren't ready to hear. Now is the time to put this out there, because if not now, then when? It's important not to have any regrets. So whether it's the truth of how you feel, or if there's something that wasn't right that needs to be dealt with or basically balanced out, this is a time for that healing to take place. Just some general notes, and then I'll drill into the different types of relationships. Again, elevating conversations, avoiding having a conversation when you're stressed, so important. I just see a lot of work going on in your life, so slowing down long enough to enjoy the people and the opportunities that you've created. That's the main thing here. Let's take a look at 3 categories. If you're in love, looking for love, or single and happy, starting with those already in a relationship. I can say that when you put your minds together, anything's possible. You have complementary energies. So one of you may focus more on money. One of you may be more of an out-of-the-box thinker. One of you may be more about teaching or learning, and the other one is more about like spiritual depth. And together, the two of you are bringing all of these things together. So your strengths are actually your differences, not so much your similarities. It's all these things that you bring to create a richer palette of colors together in the way that you look at the world. Let's look at the good and the challenges. So the good stuff here is there's a deep soul connection. And it seems like there's a core friendship here through thick and thin, definitely. You've put in the work. And again, there's still a spark. What's going on though? High sensitivity. So even if you're not trying to upset someone, a remark could be interpreted as snarky or cutting. So this could be on either side of the fence. Slow down and get the context, because you may be missing context. It may not be intended that way. Ask them what they meant by that comment. There are definitely some concerns around money. There could be some self-confidence issues popping up. So we have to deal with those as well, with kindness, with tact, with empathy. One of you may be missing the big picture. And these 2 cards are definitely related, the Page of Cups in reverse and the 4 of Cups. This can be your partner going through a lot, not being able to see the blessing. There's only so much you can do. There may be a certain point where you connect them to someone else. So, there's the partnership, then there's other people around you, a friend, a mentor, a therapist that can help mend some of the other things that you can't. You just have to remain a friend and a lover. There are teachers, there are doctors, there are other people that can help with those other categories. I think that no matter what you face, if you want to make it work, you can make it work. It's a little challenging at first and there's some stress, but there's so many positive cards this month that you can do it. Work and money might be getting in the way of that partnership, so make time for a face-to-face, heart-to-heart. It makes such a difference to be able to see the other person's eyes and to be in their presence, because you can read the nonverbal. So the face and the body say so much more than just the words or text. So heart to heart, face to face, I feel like you can manage just about anything. The only thing that can get in the way of a healthy relationship is a lack of truth. So if there's lies, deception, or just an inability to speak truthfully, that's where things start to break down. Otherwise, I feel like you've got it under control this month. And again, argumentative or overly critical communication, or playing off other people's stress or insecurities. Those are the sort of temptations, but everything else is pretty bright. So I think you can make this work. All right, if you're looking for love this month, can you find it? Sure you can. Absolutely. I actually feel like someone already has their eye kind of looking in your direction. The main things that you want to be focusing on are your own self-confidence, your general health, and your financial health. Like really get I was talking about the house, but this is sort of like the space you encompass or embody in the world, get that clear and clean so someone else can come into your energetic house and feel like they're at home. There's a chance for both a deep friendship and a deep romance. They don't have to be mutually inclusive. That can be two separate things. The two can overlap. It's an exciting time, but you're busy. You may have a lot going on emotionally. There may be a lack of sleep. There may be other people around you that are kind of in your headspace a bit. So clear that stuff out to make room for the good stuff. Okay? Generally speaking, pretty good. And don't play games. If you feel a certain way about someone, let them know. There's no amount of time that you have to wait, and vice versa. You don't have to play games with someone else. This has more to do with wealth, but I remember back when I was trying to find an agent, someone said, well, now it's just a waiting game. And immediately I knew that that wasn't an agent that I wanted to work with. I said, actually, they're either interested or they're not. I don't want to play games. She said, well, the person's not too busy. They're going to pass. I knew it was just an assistant that I was working with. But when someone said that I had to play a game, that wasn't who I wanted to deal with in the long run. So whether it's business or love or friendship, if anyone says now it's a waiting game, big red flag should be going off. You shouldn't have to play a game when it comes to where you stand. That to me was a person that lacked interest or integrity, and I just wanted to move on, and I did. Don't be afraid to do the same. If you are single and happy, then unexpected opportunities are coming through, in partnership in particular. The fact that you're kind of disconnected from it and not focusing so much on, I need to have this right now, I want to have this, it means that you're actually someone that people are looking to as a beacon for advice, opportunity, friendship, love. You may find, again, it may be really, really welcome. It may be something you're not looking for, but I see interest on the horizon here. So speak the truth. If you feel a mutual spark, say yes. If you don't, say no. What can you do in this period of time? Well, personal development and spiritual development are just jumping right off the center here. And then being able to reach a larger group of people, especially for those of you trying to make a change in the world. All of these people cards are auspicious, all right? Let's move on to destiny. The card reads, come home to your body. There are a few things that I'd like to talk about with this. The first is that you are more than enough. The self-worth energy is so embodied by this body card, and it's basically saying you are beautiful exactly the way that spirit created you. Because it was actually a co-creation activity. I had a vision once, a flashback, not just to a past life, but to an interim period where I was co-creating, I believe, this present body with angels and divine masters. And so basically there were 3 or 4 guides around me, and we were kind of programming what this experience would be like, including where I'd live, what I'd look like, etc. So know this, your body is something that you and the angels or the creative force kind of dreamt up. So this is a chance for you just to celebrate and think to yourself that you are divinely created, you are deserving of all the beauty, the joy that comes to your life, and you don't have to change unless you want to make changes in your life, because spirit sees you as beautiful just as you are. And I feel especially for those of you dealing with any sort of self-confidence issues that are coming through as a result of parents, friends, or society at large that's tried to make you fit into something that doesn't feel right for you. This card is saying, just be happy with you. You have to love you. Love begins within. So to get that Ace of Cups overflowing, there has to be this understanding that you are more than enough, you are beautiful, you are worthy, and this body, this vessel has been with you every step of the road. Treat it with kindness, with care, and with the reverence that it deserves, okay? So a kind of deep and heady message with that. Also, home is anywhere you take your person, and that is illustrated beautifully well with the Fool card, which is on the top of this tin here. So we have everything we need right here, right here. And you can make any place that you want to make home, all right? And that's what I get with the Destiny card. Let's go ahead now and go a little bit deeper into the energies of Sun, Rising, and Moon. And let me go ahead now, turn the camera down, and see what's coming through, folks. Sun, Rising, and Moon. Okay, let's begin with Sun sign first. We have the Page of Swords in reverse. So this page is walking not just a tightrope, but actually the sword. And she's multitasking, possibly beyond what she should be doing. So we see her reading, we see her walking, we see all these ideas as represented by these light bulbs, kind of all of this going on at once. So can you do a lot at once this month? Absolutely, Eight of Wands. Should you be doing all of this? Maybe slow down a bit. Take a look at where you're headed. Make sure that you're not making a misstep or a mistake, or that you're not going too fast. The Knight of Swords is the fastest moving one. This is also pretty rapid. The Eight of Wands in and of itself is pretty fast. So remember, it's not about finishing first, it's about finishing the best that you can. So take a moment to reflect, to revise, to redirect if you need to. Don't second guess your intuition and your vision, but just do take a look at your general path and your environment to make sure that you're not missing something along the way, okay? Listening is really key with the Page card reverse, particularly Page of Swords. So make sure that you read something correctly, that your interpretation is accurate, and make sure that others are receiving your messages as well. As we take a look at the rising and ascendant messages, we have the Knight of Cups. The card is reversed. Here we go again with the page in reverse. There's something happening that you might have just written off. You thought to yourself, I'm done now with relationships. I don't really want any more friends. I'm not looking for connections. The universe might have, nonetheless, someone coming into your life that could be really beneficial. And this is about taking a moment to really check that sort of block that you're putting, because it may not be serving you and you might be missing out on some sort of a positive connection. Remember, this Cups card can just be friendship or a loyal business partner or something of that nature. It can also be love. We get a lot of water coming through for you, Libra. So this could be a Pisces, Scorpio, or a Cancer coming through, and they're ready and kind of wearing their heart on their sleeves. So see if that fits you, see if that works for you. And if so, this could be a really fun period, an unexpected sort of love or an emotional sort of connection. This is also a creative period, and some of you just need to kind of like get it through the channel. So you might be coming up with a lot of ideas for business, for work, for personal development, and it's like you're just an open channel. Take care of yourself. Do listen to this, but also remember not to overwork, because that was a common theme, again, with the Eight of Wands. All right, so that's everything there for rising and ascendant. Now, moving along to the moon sign, we have the homebody card, the King of Pentacles. With the reversal of this, some of you are prioritizing yourself right now. So going back to school, really putting an interest into your own personal finances and wealth management and wealth growth. Some of you might be deciding to settle down. Maybe buying a home for the first time with or without someone. You could also be settling into a domestic relationship, because this is a card of home and relationships as well. And maybe you're adding a new addition to your family. It can include a pet, by the way. So there's this nice feeling of nesting, being at home, and getting really grounded in purpose and just feeling comfortable. And I'm all for all of that. The King of Pentacles in reverse can also be a person around you that needs or wants a lot. It's the second time we've seen that. This person tends to need resources more than just emotional support. So they may be asking for money, time, or this could be a really kind of picky boss. You want to manage everything and make sure that you have balance and that your boundaries are firm and clear and consistent. Otherwise, this is just a really good energy for creation, birthing, and seeing abundance come through in your life. All right, now let's go ahead and move on to your final question. This is a chance for you to ask something that I haven't yet had a chance to explore. So let's give the cards a shuffle and just formulate one final question for me. It can be any aspect of your life that I haven't looked at so far. Gosh, we have so much partnership energy. So Six of Cups in reverse. This is generally speaking a very, very good card. It can be a return to an old relationship or a return to this feeling of youth or joy from the past. So there's a part of you that you might be rediscovering. Some of you are going to have children. This is the beginning of a new family. You could be adding to the family. Like I said, it can be a pet too. So adopting a pet, or having a child, or getting married, or meeting someone who has this best friend energy, which is what the Six of Cups represents. if you're fortunate enough to make a new connection in friendship or in love this month, so you got almost every one of the cards that I'd want. So the Six of Cups is past life and sort of sibling or best friend energy. Four of Wands, someone that can go the distance. The Star card is someone with whom you have had many lifetimes, also someone that sees you as you are, and they're cool with that. The Two of Cups is someone with mutual interest. The only thing here that I see is someone that may have a difficult time articulating and may be looking for a little bit more than you're looking for. Now, as an aspect of you, as a yes or no, this is a yes. The Six of Cups in reverse is just saying don't underestimate your role in something. Don't sell yourself short of your value. People are just as fortunate to have you as you are to have them. And just reach out and ask a question. Some of you may be afraid to, this could be for business too, or for a job. Like you're afraid to put yourself out there because of the possibility of a no. If you don't try, the no is already there. If you try, there could be a yes. Go for it. And be sort of conversational, friendly, and playful in the approach here with this as well. Generally speaking, Libra, this is a good month for you with so much coming through with love, with friendship, with support, and again, some really cool partnership energy that I was surprised to see, but surprised in the best possible way. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, do me a favor, hit the like and subscribe, and share this with someone else in your life that you think might benefit from it. You can also give me a follow on social media. It's always my full name, Nicholas Ashbaugh. No spaces, no characters, no extra accounts. And you can go to my website to make sure that you're getting all of the official links or the main channel page here on YouTube. I do not offer any private readings, so if somebody messages you, it's not me. If they put a comment and tell you to WhatsApp them or Telegram them or text them something, ignore them. It's just an imposter. They exist. Block, report, let me know about it in the comments as well, and I'll do my best to stomp it out. If you would like to give back, there are plenty of official ways to do so. You don't really need to leave YouTube to do any of them. On a live video, you can do super stickers and super chat. On a replay or posted video, you can click the thanks or super thanks button, and you can become a member as well. I've started doing some special videos just for members where they can comment when I'm doing a live stream, and I might do more in the future. So why not become a part of the community and give back if you'd like to? I post new videos every Monday, Thursday, and Friday. I also do daily 1-minute shorts, and you can catch my live streams every Sunday at 9 a.m. Pacific time. All right, I just want to say thanks to all of you with a little cameo here from Apollo. I appreciate the fact that you spent the last 50 minutes or so with me, and I wish you all the best in the days ahead. Take care, and I'll see you soon.